We begin in Russia, where officials say that the deputy chief of military intelligence has been shot and wounded in Moscow. Lieutenant General Vladimir Alekseyev was shot several times at a residential building and is currently hospitalized. Seen here next to mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, General Alexeyev was one of the top officials who were sent to negotiate with him during his short-lived mutiny in June of 2023. Now, Alexeyev is the highest, or rather the latest high-ranking military figure to have been targeted since Russia launched its full-scale invasion back in 2022. Let's bring in DW's Russia analyst Konstantin Eggert, who is with us now from Vilnius. So, Konstantin, what more do we know about this incident?
Well, we do know that General Alekseyev was shot near his home in a prestigious area in northwestern Moscow. He's 64 years of age, a paratrooper officer by training, which is, by the way, a very frequent path to the GRU, the Russian military intelligence. And he has worked his way up through the stages of ranks and positions, and most notably in the last, let's say, 10 years, he's been seen as one of the intelligence masterminds of the Russian operation in support of Bashar al-Assad in Syria. Ostensibly for this, he was awarded the highest Russian military decoration, the Hero of Russia, by secret decree by President Putin in 2017. By the way, as his boss, the chief of the military intelligence department, Admiral Kostyakov. And as well, we know that he's under sanctions, both for the 2016 attempted interference in American elections, that's by the US, and by the EU since 2019, I think, for the alleged participation in the attempt to assassinate former Russian intelligence agent Sergei Skripal in the United Kingdom. He's been deputy head of the Russian military intelligence since 2011. So that is, I would say, quite a long career stretch. And that means that I would suspect that he's seen by many as quite indispensable in his position. Otherwise, probably he would have moved sideways or up. But definitely, he's quite trusted by the current leadership, including the leadership of the GRU, or GU as it's now called, and by the Kremlin.
Who might, I mean, we don't have many details at this point, but you know, just looking at this, Konstantin, when you heard this news coming in, who do you think might be behind the shooting?
Well, look, Sarah, the main suspects in such circumstances are usually Ukrainian security services, of course, but you never know. First of all, his boss, the boss of General Alexeyev, Admiral Kostyakov, Igor Kostyakov, is now allegedly head of the Russian delegation in Abu Dhabi that is negotiating with the Ukrainians. So I don't want to go into conspiracy theorizing, but whoever wanted to essentially torpedo these talks may have done that in order to give President Putin the right to say, well, you see, while we are negotiating, they are killing our officers. That's one thing. Another thing, I do not think this is the case, but there are many schemes of corruption inside the Russian military. And General Alekseyev was involved in unmasking one of the allegedly most corrupt officers in modern Russian history, in the defense ministry, deputy defense minister. That could have been also connected to that. But I know that the main suspects, or rather the main suspects in these circumstances, will of course be the Ukrainian security services.
DW's Konstantin Eggert putting this into context for us. As we mentioned, a top Russian military general shot in Moscow. Konstantin, thanks for your analysis.
Thank you.